nice. Okay. Nicey, nicey.
For decorative for your couch.
Covers, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
When you want to decorate for your house,
Nice.
everybody has to fix
Super
up and
soft,
feel good
yeah.
about Christmas. Get out all the bad luck, put in all the new look.
Absolutely.
And then the hurricane victims need sheets.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's not forget the little things that we don't think about.
About true.
We really don't. We need to help them get their feet back on and
feel as normal as possible. Yeah, feel as normal as possible so that they don't lose hope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're not going to.
Yeah.
We are resilient people.
Yeah.
We will get through this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we have all of these.
I love the different colors. What's your favorite color, Natalie?
Blue.
Blue.
I'm a blue girl.
Yes, I'm a purple girl.
Absolutely.
But I love colors. Colors are just, I find colors to be cheerful. They make you feel good. They make you feel
It's very
nice.
important. So we also have the towels.
Nice.
Beach towels, hand towels, wash rags, and you feel it.
Nice. Quality is nice.
Very nice. Nice
Yeah.
and fluffy.
Fluffy. That is
Fluffy.
it.
And then the colors.
Yeah,
All
very
of the
vibrant.
vibes.
Yeah.
It's happiness. It's
Nice.
feeling of happiness.
Need to estimate your duty? Perform a track and trace? Search for a declaration? Then download the Jamaica Customs mobile app today. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 12.
Thanks for joining us for CVM News at noon. It's Monday, December 22, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first this afternoon, police in Westmoreland have confirmed that a woman who was rescued in critical condition from a house in the Cornwall Mountain has died from her injuries. She has been identified as Natalee Gordon of Whitehouse. Investigators say Miss Gordon was burned, beaten and tortured by her boyfriend, 43-year-old welder Collin James, who was arrested last week. Residents alerted police after the woman had not been seen for several days. Officers forced entry into the locked home and found Gordon badly injured. She was taken to hospital where she later died. Now, James is expected to face murder charges pending a post-mortem. Now, several residents in Cornwall Mountain told CVM News that they were fully aware the female was being beaten and tortured, but whenever they tried to assist her, James would threaten their families and their lives. Community leaders and residents have condemned the incident, renewing calls for stronger action against domestic violence.
We have to stop the violence against women, and I'm asking the necessary authorities, when you go to areas like these and visit houses like these, try to intervene as much as you can before it is too late.
Meanwhile, residents of Rome, still in Westmoreland, are criticizing authorities for not doing enough to barricade a breakaway caused by Melissa. They say caution tape placed over the damaged roadway is not enough to prevent accidents and preserve lives. Now, their comments come after 9-year-old Christopher Richards of Brownyard in the parish was found dead on Thursday after a suspected motorcycle crash which caused the breakaway, or was caused by the breakaway. Now, relatives reported him missing after he didn't return home Wednesday night. Police say he was heading home Wednesday evening when he drove over the breakaway and fell into a stream below. His motorcycle was found at the site and his body was found the next day in the Ricketts River. Residents are now calling for urgent repairs to prevent more deaths.
It is very dangerous. Me and my brother pulling in stone here. And like some people don't like it, so they move the stone. We put the stone here. It is very dangerous. Me and my brother pulling in stone here. And like some people don't like it, so they move the stone. We put the stone here waiting on the authorities. to come and do something like this. And this is when it's happening now, when after a man die. You know, this should have been done a long time ago. You need, the authorities don't seem to take the people in the area serious or important. So maybe that's why they don't care.
Some school principals are this afternoon appealing to the government to rethink the long-standing practice of using schools as hurricane shelters, pointing to what recently unfolded at the Petersfield High School, where classes were unable to resume due to shelter occupants still being at the school. The principals are arguing that the practice continues to disrupt teaching and learning long after storms have passed. Now, with the Atlantic hurricane season now over, the principals say now is the ideal time for the government to begin planning for the next season, including investing in designated centers to be used as hurricane shelters.
Our schools should not be used as shelters. And based on what we have been experiencing, our schools are really not shelters. They are really old in space. So I think our government with our different partners should look at centers to provide true, real centers as it relates to providing support to individuals during the period of hurricane, so that we can move away from our schools and provide support in terms of buildings that are designated primarily. And when we say shelter, it must be shelters, not just a holding space. My school, Old Harbour High School, is a shelter. May I share with you, while it is a shelter, there's no separate budget that we have received to take care of our shelter. There's no additional budget. What we operate from is the resources that we have received for our students and for the development of our institution. That is what we have to use to support the shelter. There should be a separate budget.
Meanwhile, with just days remaining before shelter occupants housed at the Petersfield High are required to leave, questions are being raised about where those families will go next. Popular social media blogger and political activist Andre Stevens, who says he's concerned about the fate of the residents, hosted a Christmas treat at the institution on Sunday. But Mr. Stevens stressed that charity alone isn't enough and is calling on the government to urgently outline clearer plans for the shelter occupants.
When they're asked to leave December 31st, where are they going to go? Where are the transitional homes for these people? We need to find some transitional homes to put these residents at Petersfield shelter in. So I'm calling on the government. Can we build a transitional home for these residents over the next 14 to 21 days? And then see to it that they're safeguarded and protected, because a lot of children are here and we know there are many predators around. If it is that we don't protect and safeguard our children, the children are the future Prime Minister homes, will you do your part to see to it that they're protected and they're given care and protection?
Meanwhile, a Westmoreland mother is seeking shelter after being displaced from a temporary accommodation since Hurricane Melissa left her and her children homeless. Details in this report.
We have nothing left, nothing. Melissa took everything. I have nothing, no roof. This is the best I can do.
Jadine Brown is a single mother from Hartford in Westmoreland. This is where she and her 2 children have been sleeping the past few nights. Her house was destroyed during Hurricane Melissa. Now, after the storm, Jadine sought shelter at her neighbor's house, but says she was later asked to leave.
I used to work in a calling center industry. I have no house. I haven't changed my clothes since the last couple of days. See them, my daughter lose everything. We just have people giving out things and they say no. You guys can't get, and they don't know that tonight this is where we're sleeping. Somebody used to put us up and then put us out. Today said there's no more place for us to stay. The person said if you leave him place, he want to fix you up. Me jealous coming and nothing to fix.
She says the hardest part has been watching her children struggle.
My son needs to go back to school January morning. I don't know where first center will come from.
Jadine is appealing for help.
Food! food. We have nothing to eat. We lose everything. Not even a piece of food. Can I raise up a one-room house? Never. I don't have any material. I don't have nothing. I have not even first cent to me name. Anybody out there that can see this video, I help a single mother who have no place to sleep, no clothes to me pin them here. We no bed from when, please help us.
Now, anyone who would like to assist Jadine Brown and her children can contact her at 876-548-3596. Amoy Harriet for CVM News.
Meanwhile, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority is looking to implement a $3 billion program to help farmers recover from Hurricane Melissa. Minister Floyd Green argues there is need to strengthen institutional frameworks for disaster preparedness to help farmers and the country better withstand such hurricanes.
The government is once again reminding farmers and other stakeholders that action toward a recovery program are apace. Speaking at the third staging of the Rural Agricultural Development Authority Recovery Forum, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green provided the latest update.
We are now in the process of implementing a $3 billion response program through our various agencies. And if you look around, every agency has been activated and is now on the ground.
In the meantime, CEO of the National Irrigation Commission, Joseph Giles, highlighted the work carried out by the agency despite the challenges brought on by Melissa.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the staff because we have some wonderful staff. I'm saying day one, the staff were out there. And after 4 days, we were able to get some of our system up and running. As we speak, NIC is able to serve 95% of its customer.
He noted that financial support from the ministry contributed to water being restored across all districts.
We have distributed, Minister, 37 million gallons of water through the regular system. If I'm to put a cost to that we have done, that is over $120 million worth of water. But it doesn't stop there. We have distributed this water free of cost.
A Kingston businessman is calling on the government to provide targeted support for small enterprises still feeling the effects of Melissa. On Friday, several small business owners showcased their products at the Bignell Law Commercial Center in Halfway Tree after proprietor Vaughn Bignell opened the space to them free of cost. Vendors welcomed the initiative, arguing business has been slow since the hurricane, with rising prices for ground provisions and fewer scheduled events making it difficult to stay afloat. Mr. Bignell is urging the authorities to consider stimulus measures to help struggling small businesses recover and remain sustainable.
It's important that the government assists so many persons. Many persons here are descendants of slaves. We came from nothing, and many of us, most of us by and large, still have nothing. And something like a hurricane would really devastate us completely. Large corporations can recover. They have reserves, they have insurance. I even know of attorneys who have extreme difficulties in building back. So it's a dire situation, and it requires gifts. It requires subsidies from government, and it requires tremendous effort on the part of government to get to build back small businesses. It's easier to rebuild a small business than to create one from scratch.
And it's time now for a break, but stay with us more when we come back.
My name is Fredrine Simpson, Public Relations Officer. And I am Monique Bowen, Media Student. On behalf of our Distinction College family, we would like to thank the entire Jamaica for making us the #1 City and Guilds ABE and CSET private training provider in Jamaica. We offer over 70 vocational, professional, and academic programs. Start online and face-to-face classes in geriatric, pediatric, psychiatric, and practical nursing, early childhood, childcare, phlebotomy, pharmacy, and medical lab technician. education, housekeeping, food preparation, waitering, bartending, travel tourism, plumbing, motor vehicle, electrical installation, AC, cosmetology, security, customer service, receptionist, supervisory, project, HR, and business management, CSEC, CAPE, and many more. Registered for any program and get City and Girls Math and English classes for free. Visit us in Kingston, Spanish Down, St. Elizabeth, Ocherias. Call 356-4167. Happy holidays and a prosperous new year.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. Now, as we shared earlier in the newscast, school principals are calling on the government to stop using schools as hurricane shelters, arguing that it disrupts reopening and learning after storms. Joining us now on Zoom is Senator Marlon Morgan, who's the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education. Good afternoon, Senator, and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Amoy. Let me say good afternoon to your viewers and wish for you all compliments of the season and a happy 2026 when it comes.
Thank you so much, and same to you. Now, we heard about the situation at Petersfield High. Can you talk to me about whether or not there are any other schools that were used as shelters that are currently having issues reopening?
Well, I would say, there are a number of schools, as you'll appreciate, that have been utilized as shelters. Some 54 schools, quite frankly, are still being so utilized. And as we can appreciate, following the passage of Hurricane Melissa and just the ongoing recovery effort on which we're embarked, we're essentially seeking to have resumption in teaching and learning in as seamless a manner as possible. And you can appreciate, Amoy, and your viewers as well, that we have experienced challenges with respect to the fact that shelters are still being utilized by shelterees. One of the things we have developed, though, as a ministry is a quarantine scenario where we do not have shelterees interfacing with or coming into contact with certain our students and serving to disrupt their teaching and learning.
So, Senator, the ministry has indicated its desire to reopen classes come January, which, as you know, is just 2 weeks away. What then would happen to those persons at these 54 shelters in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks? All right, it appears we're having some technical challenges there with Senator Morgan. Senator, are you hearing me? All right, it appears that we may have lost the senator, but we will be trying to get back in touch with him to continue this conversation around whether or not Jamaica government should do away with the practice of using schools as hurricane shelters. Let's go now to news overseas. Severe flooding has devastated villages in Indonesia, leaving residents displaced nearly a month on. Many families are still sheltering under plastic sheets without electricity or clean water. Al Jazeera has the details.
This is what remains of the village of Godombak. Almost a month after the floods hit, people are still sleeping under scrap plastic sheets. There's no electricity. People bathe in dirty floodwater.
Many are sick. Some have diarrhea, some have stomach aches, some feel dizzy, some are vomiting. Many of the sick are children or elderly.
The Indonesian government has so far resisted calls to declare a national disaster and to accept foreign aid. Around Aceh, the worst affected province, people have begun putting up white flags. It's a call for help to Jakarta and to the world.
The community raised this white flag in protest because they did not receive enough aid. We are still in dire need of clean water and medicine.
Environmental groups have highlighted how deforestation for palm oil, timber and mining exacerbated the impact of the floods. Groups like Greenpeace are calling for a massive reforestation effort and greater environmental protections. Indonesia's forestry ministry acknowledges poor forest management exacerbated the disaster despite continuing to support massive deforestation for ongoing government projects.
All right, let's go back now to our previous conversation with Senator Marlon Morgan, who's a parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Education. Now, before we lost you there, Senator, you mentioned that there are 54 schools that are still operating as shelters as we speak. Now, I posed this question to you earlier before we lost you, where I was asking, given the Education Ministry's desire to reopen schools in another 2 weeks, most schools, the ones that are able to reopen, what then would happen to these shelter occupants at these 54 schools?
Well, the strategy of the government has been to identify suitable alternatives where schools are serving as shelters. So, for example, in respect of the Petersfield High School, there is a shelter, an alternative facility that has been identified by the Ministry of Local Government and proposed to the shelterees. Now, there are some of them who were recalcitrant in relation to taking up that opportunity some time ago.
So, given what we're seeing happening right now, the government wants to reopen schools, a lot of pulling back and forth has to be happening